So today I'm going to write a CELPIP Task 1 email. So I haven't planned anything. I just want to sit here and write it. So you have borrowed money from your bank. You agreed to repay a fixed amount every month. However, it will be difficult to pay any money back this month. So here's the prompt. Here's the situation. Because I only have 26 minutes, I'm already going to be thinking about, who am I writing to? What's the situation? What's the formality? So already the wheels are turning with that. I borrowed money from my bank. So off the bat, I'm like, okay, this is a very formal email that I'm going to be writing. Write an email to the bank in about 150 to 200 words. Your email should do the following things. State the amount of money you borrowed and the repayment schedule. Explain why you borrowed the money. Explain the reason you cannot pay any money this month and why you will be able to pay next month. So let's write the email together. These three things, I need to do all three of those things in my email. So I like to do some planning before I start. So I'm going to copy these and just paste them here. And I'm going to make some notes to myself. So I'm going to just figure out, hash out the details so I make sure I cover everything. So this is what I call pre-writing. Okay. State the amount of money you borrowed and the repayment schedule. So right now what's happening is the COVID-19 pandemic. So I think I'm going to work that into this email because it makes it relevant, and it would be pretty good reason to not be able to pay your bank back for something. So let's say I borrowed, I don't know, maybe $5,000 for school on my line of credit. Here, I'm going to say line of credit because it's I've been to a bank here. I know this terminology. I'm going to show them that I know these words specific to this context. Say the amount of money you borrowed and the repayment schedule. And I was supposed to pay maybe, I was supposed to be paying, what's realistic? I was supposed to be paying $500 back per month. So that way it'll be over the course of I'm so bad at math. A year, I guess, 10 months. Explain why you borrowed the money. For school, I already said that. For school, I'm doing a certificate. Maybe, what can I say? Maybe a dental hygiene certificate. Dental hygiene. Except dental hygiene school is way more expensive than that. But let's just say $5,000. Let's say dental assisting. Or what's the thing where you work in a medical office? You're the receptionist. Dental receptionist program. Perfect. That's a little bit more realistic because I know dental hygiene is $40,000. So explain the reason you could not pay any money this month and why you will be able to pay next month. Okay, so this one's easy. I'm just going to say I was working, let's be in the same font. So I'm going to say I was working at a restaurant and it shut down because of COVID. Restaurant shut down due to COVID, and I'll be able to pay next month because it's reopening. I think we're in phase 3 now of the pandemic, so in phase 3. Okay, so now I have all of the details hashed out. So when I start to write the email, there's coherence. I have 1, 2, 3. The email is like essentially you're explaining some kind of process. Like you went to a restaurant and you had a bad experience and you want to rectify that issue. Like something happened and you're fixing it. So it's some kind of like process. Maybe you want to buy a car. So you see the car, you have to ask to buy the car, ask to go see the car. Yeah. It's very different from the survey, the second task here. So I'm not actually like timing myself. I just want to write this survey. When you're practicing, like you don't always have to time yourself. Especially when you're getting the hang of it, it's probably just better just to write it. Okay, so I'm going to just make all this like black now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, you have borrowed money from the bank. So it doesn't say who I'm writing to. So who am I going to be writing to? I'm going to be writing to probably I know like my financial advisor, but because it's formal, I'm going to address them by their last name. Dear Mrs. I always pick like Canadian names, like what I think of like stereotypical Canadian names. So maybe like, even though it's really diverse here, like I just try to pick names that I've seen, like Pereira. Dear Mrs. Pereira. And then I'm going to do 1 space. And the first thing, like you'll see in my other videos, the very first thing I do is, like, why are they even, like, reading this email? You need to let them know. And I'm not going to say I'm going to say I am. Because I'm trying to be super, super formal right now. It's about money, and I'm going to tell them, like, I can't pay you back right now. So I have to make it very clear, like, I mean business, I'm professional, I have my life in order, I can write a proper email. Language is so much more than grammar and vocabulary. Language is like you're expressing not who you are, but in this you're expressing, like, if you write like a cover letter to get a job, like you're expressing if you can write a formal email, it shows them that you're like capable of this kind of formality, and it instills trust. So I'm writing to you regarding my credit payment. So what you should do really, especially if you really need a good mark for the CELPIP, is have different like templates in your head for the different emails. So you should have like some formal templates in your head, some semi-formal, some informal. So then when it comes to the CELPIP test day, and you're under, a time constraint, you just have these templates in your head, and then they're going to give you the situation, and you can just like put in this new situation and fill it in with the template. So instead of saying I'm writing to you regarding my line of credit, you could say something like I'm writing to you regarding whatever the situation is. So. throughout this, I'm going to be checking the word count. So here, so far, I've written, I'm writing to you regarding my line of credit payment. I borrowed $5,000 in March 2020 from your bank. I have a good credit score and I'm very diligent when it comes to repayments of my debt. However, this month I will unfortunately not be able to repay the next installment of $500. The repayment schedule was 10% of the loan monthly for a total of 10 months. However, due to extenuating circumstances, I do not have now I'm trying to think, but I need to check the word count first and foremost. See, I only have 82 words, so I need 150 to 200. So I have lots of room here. I do not have the finances available. For the September. Okay, so far, I have stated the amount of money I borrowed and the repayment schedule. I haven't explained why I borrowed the money. Okay, so this is going to be my first paragraph. So what I've done here is I said, look, I borrowed this money. I can't pay it back. And then I say the repayment schedule. So one space, and now I'm going to do the next two prompts. I had borrowed dental reception school program enrolled in. I've been working part-time at a restaurant and I've been working part-time at a restaurant. I don't want to say I was making good money there. It was too informal, but I want to say like I was making money. Like I'm working part-time at a restaurant. And was making a decent wage due to, I already said due to. That's what I want to repeat, due to. The restaurant was closed. Because of the province's return to days. Okay, I'm going to check my word count again. Tools, word count, 164, so I'm still good. So I've done everything. I've explained the reason I cannot pay any money in the month and why I'll be able to pay the next month. Explain why I borrowed the money, and I did this. And I did it in order they said, and my email is 2 paragraphs here. Okay, so I've done it. So now I'm going to just thank them and finish the email. So I appreciate your understanding of this matter and look forward to continuing to do my banking at your establishment. Yeah, so watch out for that. That's a gerund, and I wrote the simple form of the verb there. So they corrected me. During the actual test, you'll just have spell check. You won't have, you're not going to have like grammar. So just careful. I appreciate your understanding on this matter and look forward to continuing to do my banking at your establishment. And then I'm going to do, that's my closing sentence. Then I'm going to do a sign-off sentence. I'm going to say regards. I'm going to say my name. And that's it. So it looks nice and clean. I'm going to check it now. I'm going to check it. Right to my eyes, it looks good. Okay, another thing, what my students tend to do, they'll put like spaces here. That's wrong. You're losing marks for no reason. Make sure your periods are always, it's the word, period, and then you have a space. Or they'll put like a space here. No, there's no space here. There's only space here. Okay, so dear Mrs. Pereira, I'm writing to you regarding my line of credit payment. I borrowed $5,000 March 15th, 2020 from your bank. I'm going to say on March 15th, 2020 from your bank. I have a good credit score and I'm very diligent when it comes to payments of my debt. However, this month I will unfortunately not be able to repay the next installment of $500. The rescheduled payment was 10% of the loan monthly for a total of 10 months. However, due to extenuating circumstances, I do not have the finances available for the September payment. To the point. I had borrowed the money to pay for a dental reception school program I'm currently enrolled in. I'm going to say I borrowed the money. Simple. Honestly, sometimes when we get to the perfect tenses, we should just use the simple tenses. I've been working part-time at a restaurant. Part-time like this, I think. At a restaurant and was making a decent wage. The restaurant was closed because of the province's decision to return to phase 2 of quarantine, so I was out of work for close to a month. Luckily, I think I should put a comma here, they are reopening this coming weekend and I will be back to work on Friday. For this reason, I will be able to pay the next installment to my line of credit. I will be able to pay the next installment to my the next installment of my debt repayment, maybe is better. Of loan repayment. I need to go back here and just see how they worded it, of my loan repayment. I appreciate your understanding on this matter and I look forward to continuing to do my banking at your establishment. Regards, Annabelle. So, great, and now, tools, word count, 200 words on the dot. On the dot. So honestly, if I had 201, I would have to fix something. I don't like to go even one word over, but I'm just at 200, so it's good. Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can cut anything out because I want like 198, but 200 is okay. That's fine. Yeah, so this is very formal. There's no mistakes in it. There's 2 body paragraphs. People get in the habit of going like this, like making it chunky, really chunky. I don't like that. It should look very like clean and neat. So yeah, so that's writing an email. We just wrote an email. I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to try to make lots more helpful videos for everybody because I know CELPIP can be a tricky test. So yes, hopefully this helped.